Long ago, though not so long that the elders have forgotten, there lived a man whose name was Chief Adekunle Arowolo, a man so wealthy that people said his shadow arrived before him. Chief Adekunle was known across 3 towns and 7 markets. He owned cocoa farms that stretched like green carpets, trucks that groaned under the weight of goods, and houses in cities where the sun did not wait for permission to shine. When he walked, people greeted him twice, once for respect and once for fear. But the elders always say, the man who owns many goats must still learn how to tie one properly. Before wealth grew teeth and began to bite him, Chief Adekunle had married Morayo, a quiet woman with strong hands and stronger patience. She was the kind of woman who did not talk much, but when she spoke, her words sat down. Morayo followed him when he had nothing but hope and borrowed sandals. She cooked on firewood that burned her eyes, fetched water before dawn, and carried their children on her back while her husband chased fortune from town to town. They had 2 children, a boy, Sola, and a girl, Dara, children who grew like young palm trees, bending but never breaking. When money finally began to answer Adekunle's calls, Morayo thanked God and tightened her wrapper. She believed prosperity was a visitor who stayed when treated well. But wealth is like palm wine. If you drink too fast, it enters your head. In the city, Chief Adekunle met Lola. Lola had lips like ripe mangoes and laughter that rang louder than truth. She wore perfumes that arrived before she did and dresses that refused to hide her body. She knew how to speak softly to men whose ears had grown tired of responsibility. Where Morayo spoke with silence, Lola spoke with fire. Soon Chief Adekunle stopped coming home early. Then he stopped coming home at all. One evening, under electric light instead of moonlight, he called Morayo. "Pack your things," he said, as if he were discussing weather. "This city life is no longer for you. Take the children back to your village. I will send money." Morayo did not shout. She did not cry. She only asked one question. "Is this your final word?" Adekunle waved his hand like a man chasing a fly. "Go." And so the woman who followed him through hunger was sent away during abundance. The elders say, when a man forgets the bridge that brought him across the river waits. Morayo returned to her father's village with 2 children and 1 box of clothes. The house she was given had cracked walls and a roof that argued with rain. People whispered. Was she barren? Did she offend him? City women cannot keep husbands. But Morayo tied her wrapper and went to work. She farmed cassava. She sold gari. She learned to trade palm oil. She woke before the cock crowed and slept after the moon climbed high. Her children hawked after school, not because she wanted them to, but because hunger does not wait for pride. At night, Morayo prayed, not loud prayers, not angry prayers. She prayed the kind of prayers that sink into the ground and wake ancestors. Years passed. Morayo's hands became rough, but her eyes became clear. She learned business from failure and patience from poverty. Slowly money began to obey her. She bought land, then another. Then she started building, brick by brick, block by block. People asked her, "Why build such a big house in the city?" She smiled. "A bird does not forget the tree it once nested in." When the house was finished, it stood tall, painted cream and brown, with a gate that sang when opened. Inside were wide rooms, tiled floors, and windows that welcomed light. She registered the property in her own name. No noise, no announcement. Meanwhile, Chief Adekunle's life had begun to crack. Lola loved money, not patience. She spent faster than he earned. Business partners cheated him. Debts piled like dirty plates. One night, Adekunle sat in darkness when the light was cut off. Lola packed her bags that same night. I did not marry poverty, she said. By morning she was gone. Adekunle sold houses, sold land, sold cars, until one day, with his pride folded small, he came to Morayo. She did not laugh, she did not insult him. She only said, "You may stay. The children deserve to know their father." Adekunle moved into the house she built, and for the first time he slept under a roof raised by the woman he once rejected. Time passed, but pride is stubborn. Adekunle began to command again. He insulted Morayo. He shouted at the children. He called the house his. One evening, Morayo stood in the courtyard, her feet firm on the earth. "This house," she said calmly, "belongs to me." Adekunle laughed. "A woman cannot throw out her husband." Morayo walked inside. She brought out documents, land papers, receipts. She placed them on the table like cola nuts before elders. "I built this house when you forgot us. You may leave." The children stood behind her. The wind was quiet. For the first time, Chief Adekunle had no words. He left that night with one bag. The gate closed behind him, and the house stood silent, but satisfied. Till today, elders tell this story under moonlight. They say, "The hand that feeds you today may be the one you insulted yesterday." A woman's patience is not weakness. It is a seed. Never drive away the owner of tomorrow, because you control today. And so ends the tale of the house that spoke, the woman who rose, and the man who learned too late that respect, once broken, does not return the same.